Create a really comfortable posture, but a tall posture. And let's use an imaginary vertical line as our reference for our tall tonight. And that imaginary vertical line dropping from the ceiling down the center of the skull, through the spine, rooting down into the ground. Notice how far off of that vertical line is your posture fading. Right, let's again use the vertical reference to align the spine. And now that we've been thoughtful about how we positioned ourselves, our breath might be moving just a little bit more smoothly and fully. And that's what we want to experience tonight. Deep, long, full breaths. So I went ahead and let my fingers fall to the floor. It's right, melting shoulders downward as we sit up taller vertically. Notice where the tension is getting packed up. And tonight we're going to unpack that tension. Let's have a purpose to the poses that we create tonight. Starting to create a subtle sway. Right? Fingers can be there still for guidance, keeping you grounded. Noticing the stretch along the sides of the body. When you lean over, that side stretches. It feels nice. You're not kinking off the side body at all. It's an actual lengthening. Now let's begin a circling motion. Just dropping into your body completely. You can feel the circle from the root, the base of your body, all the way through the spine and crown top of your head, tall and clear about what we're doing, moving and breathing. Now let's make a smooth shift and swirl that circle the other way. May, again, your breaths be long, slow, and deep. And now back to sitting in that easy seated pose, Sukhasana, our starting position. Let's change position. Let's give our legs a stretch, right? They've been crossed. Let's let the right leg free. Extend right leg forward. And just fold in gently to Janu Shirshasana. And notice how I said fold gently. We're not going to strain to reach for anything. Just hands settle, grounded on fingerprints. I like fingerprints. You can use hands. But coming into the fold of the body, our hip hinge. Take a little journey through your spine from your tail, segment by segment. Align, create a little space. Now let's change sides. Transferring our Janu Shirshasana. Left leg forward, right leg takes an angle. Notice if you started to slouch instead, defining hip hinge as we fold forward. Focus on your breathing in the moment. And that focus just invites a longer, slower, deeper breath. Align your spine logically from tail to top. Now let's sit up and hands and knees pose. Let's come into our tabletop position. Laying down big hands, right? Press down through your fingerprints. And by pressing down through your fingerprints, you stop crushing into the wrist joint and you give it a little buoyancy, right? Creating a better hand position. Starfish hands, that's what they look like on the mat. Exhaling into our cat. Inhaling cow. Smoothing those curling actions your spine's taking. Again, we're tuning into the spine from our tail to our top. One more round of cat and cow, please. Now, tabletop pose so we can go someplace new. Let's bring our left foot to the front of the mat. We're kneeling, still hands on the ground. We're lunging. It starts to, it's like an inchworming action, just a little slide back, which allows the right hip to sink towards the ground gently. Coming into a very nice stretch, hopefully, for your hip flexors. Use well-balanced handprints and well-balanced arms to create steadiness and ease here. Lizard pose. Slowly draw your tail back. Ease your tail back, straighten your left leg. Maybe your left heel slides forward a bit, maybe. Steadying, folding, Ardha Hanumanasana, a half split. Check in again with your spine. From tail to top, logically align your spine. Now invite in a nice long deep breath, but it fills up 360 degrees of your body. And slowly we'll bring our left heel back. We're in tabletop again. Let's take a few more cats and cows. Exhaling cat pose. Inhaling draws us into our cow pose. Press down through your fingerprints as to not crush the wrist joints. One more. Now from our tabletop, we'll bring our right foot forward to the front of the mat, sliding gently the left leg back, sinking the left hip towards the ground softly. Lizard pose. Steady here. Let your breath fill in 360 degrees of your body. Notice if your belly is crushing into the right thigh. Create a little space there so you can fill that space. And then ease back. Ardha Hanumanasana. Right leg straightens. Rebalancing. Logically lengthening our spines from tail to top. All right, this time let's bring our right heel back. We're tabletopping again, but now hands lift from the ground. We're standing on our knees. Shoulders roll back. Right, melting shoulders and shoulder blades back. Zipping the belly. Steady breathing. Your breath is infiltrating your front pocket space. Now hands touch back down to the ground. Let's take our first child balasana. Arms extended, forehead rested. Or maybe you want to do an extended puppy pose. That's an option too. Extended child's or extended puppy. And puppy would be, I'm going to do the side view here. Here's child's pose. The bottom's a little lower, rested on forehead. Puppy would be drawing your bottom upward, right? Rising tail, heart and chest fall towards the ground. Chin rests on the mat. Why does the chin rest? Because that's actually a key action in yoga. It's called a chin stand. So here's your entry level into chin stand through puppy pose. If you are in extended puppy, you might be feeling a really intense shoulder stretch. If it's too much, dial back to child's pose. You've always got options. Please take 2 more long, deep breaths. And then we'll peel ourselves up. Let's develop our first downward dog pose tonight. Tails up. Remaining here in downward facing dog for a few more breaths, for sure. But there's such a wonderful sense of balance that you're establishing throughout your body, through your front paws, through your long, strong arms. Still quite logically lengthening your spine. But give your legs a little agility, right? You're micro bending your knees gently. And knees touch back down to the ground. We tabletop one more time. Exhaling into our cat pose. Inhaling cow pose. And we'll take a few smooth rounds of cat-cow flow. One more. Meeting in tabletop. Left leg steps forward. Right leg slides back. We're in our kneeling lunge position. Balanced handprints. Softly sinking the right hip towards the ground. Unpacking any tension in the jaw, neck, or shoulder line, right? Softening any hard edges. Slowly, let's ease back into Ardha Hanumanasana. Left leg straightening, rebalancing, defining our hip hinge as we fold forward. How does it feel, my friends? How does it feel? Honor your body if you slide your left heel forward a little bit more. Probably it lights up your hamstring stretch a little more. Again, honor your body. Find the place in the pose that's really purposeful for your body. One more deep breath. And left heel slides back. We tabletop again. This time, lift your hands up off the ground. Give your wrists a break. We'll take a little camel back. Sideways view. Shoulders melt back. We lean back through the upper mid-back space. But the belly, very strong, supporting us here. Maybe your hands, maybe they touch your thighs, your back pockets. There's definitely a spreading and opening, a broadening across your chest. Now, hands to ground. Cat exhaling. Cow pose is our inhaling breath. Ride your breath through a few more rounds of cat-cow flow. This is a great opportunity to, again, unpack any tension that came to yoga with you tonight. Now, tabletop, meet me there. And our right foot steps forward to the front of the mat. Left leg starts to softly slide back. Lizard pose. Now let's ease back into Ardha Hanumanasana. Tail back, right leg straightens, and maybe you flirt with sliding the heel forward. What feels good? Honor and align your body. Tune into your spine, right? From tail to top, logically align the spine. Make sure that you find the place in the pose that's most purposeful for you, where you can breathe and where the stretch feels good and it's not strained. Now let's ease our right heel back, please. option to child's pose or extended puppy pose. Your choice. Now let's slide out onto our belly and elbows. We've done Sphinx together before. Belly and elbows resting. But I truly love a yoga pose called Cobra. I really, really do. It's wonderful for training our posture. And when we use the guidance of logically lengthening our body, I hope it will change the experience for you and make it even better. But to practice Cobra, I really want to have you all visualize a cobra, a snake, and how that snake's body moves. I hope I didn't scare any of you. Snakes scare me, but I love Cobra pose. It's very purposeful. So think of how the snake moves. There's no hard edges. There's smoothness, right? There's no arms on the snake. They don't have arms. So we're not going to use our arms to push the floor or do push-ups. That's not even the purpose. The purpose of Cobra is to draw your arms in very close to your body. Elbows are close, arms close, elbows are bent, close to the body. And that stabilizes your shoulder blades down onto the back, broadens the shoulder heads apart, and that's valuable. Let's start by lowering our heart and our forehead to the ground. So you're just long, a long snake stretched out. Now use your core body to lift you up, right? Lift the snake up, lift the hood. Exhale, lower to the ground. Inhale, lift the hood. Exhale, lower to the ground. Keep going. I love many cobras strung together. That cobra rising and falling action, control it. Ride your breath through it. And notice, are your elbows starting to stray away from your body? Bring them in close. Snakes don't have arms, so absorb your arms into your body. Move your body. 2 more times. Cobra, lift and lower. And then smoothly take yourself back to child's pose or puppy pose. Peel yourself up slowly and develop a downward facing dog pose. One more, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Tails up. And as you breathe in balance here, you're going to, again, logically lengthen, logically align the spine, vertebra by vertebra. Your breath is really expanding throughout 360 degrees of your body as you sustain downward dog pose. All right, bring your knees to the ground, tabletop. Now, hands lift, so we're not balanced on our hands anymore. You can turn your toes under this time. If that doesn't feel comfortable, you can leave your toes back if that made you more steady. It's your choice. Shoulders back, zip the belly. We're creating a gentle entry to back bend. Perhaps perhaps back bend right here is your jam, or maybe a camel pose, a drop back, heels being held. Three deep breaths, steady with ease in your Ustrasana, camel pose. And then hands touch back down to the mat. We'll take a few more rounds of cats and cows. That's our counter pose to the camel. Moving smoothly with your breath. Tabletop. Left foot, third round of lizard flow. Left foot forward, right leg slides back, lizard pose. Shift smoothly into Ardha Hanumanasana, left leg straightening, rebalancing, and defining our hip hinge. Okay, look forward. Before we leave it, we're gonna play into it perhaps a little deeper. That's a maybe, because you're gonna listen to your body. It's gonna give you feedback, so please listen deeply. You're still in Ardha Hanumana, but we're gonna slowly inchworm the right leg back, continuing to balance with our hands. So maybe we're starting to open up the splitting action, the full Hanumanasana. Find the place in the pose, right? Dial it into the place where you can stretch and breathe and unpack your tension gently. Now slowly, we're doing the heel drag again. Left heel comes back. Tabletop pose. Right foot forward. Let's be lizards again, please. Left leg sliding back comfortably for you. To engage the hip stretch, to maintain your balance and deep breathing. Now we'll shift back to Ardha Hanumanasana, the half splitting pose. Establishing a really good sense of split before we even think of going any further, right? And if we're feeling balanced and if our body's inviting a little deeper exploration, maybe your left leg slides back, glides back. continuing to balance as you explore your splitting action. Hanumanasana. So in this shape right now, wow, our legs are, they're spread, there's a stride, there's a sense of that lunge, that length, legs splitting. Let's come on out. And take your child's pose or your puppy pose. You choose. But as you practice your puppy or your child's pose, just think of the shape that you just made. Again, those words I use: length, stride. Hanuman, it's a great story. In short summary, Hanuman leapt across an ocean to help a friend. That's a really simple translation of the story, but it's still pretty beautiful. And when I learned the story of Hanuman, it really changed my view of the pose. It made it so it's not impossible to do. I just have to take the right amount of stride. I have to be thoughtful when I take that leap into the pose. So I hope to one day talk to you a lot more deeply about Hanuman. But in short, he leapt across an ocean. That said, let's try it again. Tabletop pose, right? Give some hula hips. All right, we're priming to take that leap. Left leg forward stride. Right leg glides back. We're in that lunging, preparing. Another beautiful part of the story that I just can't forget. Before Hanuman took that leap, he knelt on the beach. He knelt in Anjayanasana, which Anjayanasana, the kneeling lunge, is preparation for Hanumanasana. But he knelt on the beach and prayed that it would be the right thing. It's a great story. The myths of asana are fantastic. Now let's ease back into Ardha Hanumanasana, the half split, the half leap, the preparation. And now we're ready to leap across the ocean. How big is your stride? How big is your split? Hanuman leapt for love, for the love of his friend Ram. Who would you leap for? Just a thought. Let's rise, right? Oh, heel slides back. This time we take our ease back, finding our camel pose variation. What feels good? Two more deep breaths. And then our hands come back down to the mat for a few cat-cows. And let's bring our right foot forward. We're coming into Anjayanasana. kneeling lunge, and then we ease back a little further, a little more of the lizard shape. Ardha Hanumanasana, shifting our hips back, preparing. And then deciding, how far do we need to go? Finding that place of purpose, of good stretch, of steadiness with ease. Easing the right heel back. One more downward dog. Tails up. Knees touch down to ground, and we shall have a seat together. Our right leg angled, left leg straight in front of us. Coming back into Janu Shirshasana, one of the first poses we started with tonight. Go ahead and sit up and change sides. Right leg forward and your left leg comes into angle. Folding forward to the point that feels good. That flexion forward, it feels good. And you can still breathe pretty clearly deep down into that hip fold. All right, let's move into a totally different position. We're gonna come back to Sphinx pose to frame our body on the belly and elbows, to frame this new position. But once we frame our body in this new position, we slide our hands back, roughly just slightly behind where the elbows are placed now, right? Your fingerprints come to that elbow spot. Elbows may have strayed away, but again, wrap the elbows in. Pretend I wrapped you up in saran wrap, your upper body. Inhale up, cobra lift. Exhale down, cobra lower. Inhaling. Exhaling, and you're generating the movement through the spinal body, through your core body. One more time, please. Bhujangasana, the cobra pose. And then ease up and back to your puppy or your extended child's, your choice. All right, one more time we peel up. We're gonna finish with the camel. You're gonna find your camel pose edge thoughtfully, right? Listen to your body. Take it slow, your key actions intact. Control your body. Control your breath. Slowly you rise and touch hands back down to the mat for a few more cats and cows. Right? Finishing poses here. And now new position. Go ahead and lie on your back. Lying on our back thoughtfully. Shoulders relax. In this moment, bring the soles of your feet together. The bottoms of your feet touch gently. Your knees have flared apart. And there's a stretch being produced across your groins and thighs in the moment. Reclining Baddha Konasana. Bring your knees together, my friends, and lift your heels, bent legs in the sky, and just start to rock your legs right to left. Your arms are expanded across the floor. Keep your shoulders anchored back. And let's twist to the left, right? To the left, drop your legs. Anchor your right shoulder back, as well as anchoring your left shoulder back as evenly as possible. Let's lift our legs back through center, rolling legs to the right side of the mat, surrendering the legs on the right side, and then anchoring both shoulders back as equally as we can. Applying our long, slow, deep breathing. Now come back to center and extend your legs, extend your arms. Your final relaxation pose. You made it. Relax, breathe deeply, giving yourself the opportunity to again bathe every component within your body in the deep breaths that you're taking. And the long, slow, deep breathing that you're doing. It's helping to bolster your immune system, helping to unpack your tension. May you find the let go that lives in the long, slow, exhaling breath. Now is the time to persevere. Those who succeed usually have one big thing in common. They never give up. No matter how long it takes, no matter how many obstacles in their way, they fight on until they prevail. Above so many things, perseverance is vital to success. Continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking our potential. Thank you for meeting me on the mat for candlelight yoga, to practice yoga, to unlock your potential. Thanks for being here tonight. Happy Friday.